I'm gonna get Brian.
Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to Monday Night Training. This is going to be an interesting one. So, you want to make sure you stay till the end. And if you're watching the replay, you want to make sure you watch the end because there's no way I'm turning this recording off. The story is coming. Um, I hope you all have had a fantastic week. It's the 19th day of the month, which means we are more than halfway through. Um, Big money is being given away by corporate. The next drawing is tomorrow. I hope everyone has their entry for tomorrow's drawing. If you did not get it, it started over yesterday. So make sure you get some people signed up to get an entry into that drawing. That's huge. It's going to be absolutely amazing. I can't wait to see who wins tomorrow. I think I've got 8 entries, so I'm excited. Maybe the lady luck will be on my side tomorrow. It usually isn't, but maybe it will. But we have got a lot to do and a short time to do it if we want August to be the month of the month of the month. So there's still plenty of time. And I'm going to tell you, I don't care what your goal was. If you are not over halfway there, change what you're doing. Don't change the goal. Change what you're doing. Pivot, as Ross would say. Pivot. Do something different. And if you keep doing the same thing and expect different results, we all know that's the definition of what? Hello, insanity. So if you want something different to happen, you got to make sure that you do something different than what you've been doing. So I'm excited to hear Kristi's training tonight. She went to forewarn Brian that he's going to come on and be our special guest at the end. So make sure you stay. And is she back yet?
I'm here.
Yep, there she is. All right, take it away, Kristi.
All right, you guys. I'm excited to be here with you guys tonight. And I wanted to talk tonight about something that I think so many people struggle with because I think we put such a big emphasis on it, and I don't feel like people feel like they are there yet. So we're going to talk about leadership tonight. So ask yourself this, and you can put it in the comments if you want to interact. You can think about it yourself, but do you feel like you're a leader? Right? Do you guys feel like you are a leader? Do you even know what a leader is? Because I'm about to blow your minds, okay? And I truly believe that every single person on here is a leader, but a lot of people just don't feel like they are. Because guess what? You're not going to be perfect at everything. You're going to have things that you're not so good at. You're going to have things that you have to work on. You're going to have things that you're really good at. You're going to have things that you master. But really, everybody's different. And that's where the team comes in, because you've got to use everyone's qualities in order to build a strong team. So I believe everyone on here is a leader. Leadership is not determined by how long you have been here. I want you guys to know that, okay? Leadership is not determined by how long you've been here. It's determined by your attitude. It's determined by your willingness to help others. It's determined by your knowledge to train others. It's determined by the way that you handle conflict and problems. Are you part of the problem or are you part of the solution? Right? Leadership has a lot of things out there that I really don't think about. I don't think we think about, because I feel like a lot of people in the company, they'll get started. Maybe they hit manager. Maybe they feel back. Maybe they're not a manager anymore, like month to month, that type of a thing. And so then they look to someone who's an executive and they're like, oh, they're a leader. Guess what? Executives are not executives anymore right now either. Okay. Everyone falls back. So being here a long time does not make you a leader. If you come in and you grow really, really fast and then you fall back, but you don't know how to help your people, that doesn't mean you're a leader. Like a lot of different things contribute to this. So I truly believe everybody is a leader. You may just not feel like it. Okay. Have you ever played a sports game and I just dealt with this. My Brooklyn just had a game. We played the only team we lost to last year. The only team. They knocked us out in the state playoffs. They beat us in region. When I showed up to that game, I already knew we were going to lose. You want to know why? Because I heard everybody talking before the game. I heard everyone talking before the game. They put it out there. This is such a good team. They're so good. They beat us last year. I don't think we're going to win. It's the same thing with your business, you guys. If you don't feel like you're a leader, you're putting that out there. You're not going to be a leader. You're not going to have people that want to follow you because you've already lost the game, if that makes sense. Okay. So it's big. You got to get your head right. So we're going to talk about some different leadership qualities and skills and all of that. And some of this might sting a little bit. I'm going to be kind of blunt. I know I'm the angel and the nice one of the group. Melissa's usually the blunt one, but some of this stuff might push some of your buttons. And I hope it does. Because if it does, use it, apply it, and change. Become better. Okay. So let's talk about leadership and network marketing. Okay. The definition of leadership. Leadership is the ability to influence and guide individuals or teams towards achieving common goals. So when you are talking to a prospect, you are talking to them, you're guiding them, you're helping them find their fit, right? So you're already a leader. You're a leader to those new people. Do you guys realize that? I don't think you do, because you're always looking for someone to help you and someone to do this. Be genuine with these people. But in network marketing, effective leadership is critical for building and sustaining a strong, motivated team. Be the leader, okay? The importance of leadership. Strong leadership helps in recruiting. Have you guys ever talked to someone who is not very confident and about, not necessarily about singular, but about anything? Like, think about going and buying a car. Do you want someone who knows about the car? Do you want someone who's confident in sharing about the car? Do you want someone who knows what kind of a car it is? If someone asked me, I wouldn't know, right? That's not my jam. But you've got to be good at this, because it's going to help you in recruiting. It's going to help you in retaining. It's going to help you in motivating team members. Be that person. You want to attract people to you. Okay, let's talk about the characteristics of an effective network marketing leader. Okay. I don't think you guys think about some of these things, but you have got to be a visionary. Okay. A leader must have a clear vision of what they want to achieve and be able to communicate that vision to your team. This is one of the big reasons why you have to have a strong why you have to know what your goals are. Because if you cannot paint the picture, nobody's going to want to do what you're doing. They might want to take your products, but you've got to get good at painting the picture. So be a good visionary. Melissa Adams is a great visionary. Girl knows what color her pillowcase is going to be when she gets to Cancun. You know what I mean? Like, she paints the picture so vividly. She knows what kind of drink she's going to order right when she gets there. She knows all of these things because she's a great visionary. Be that person. How many of you guys want to be more like Melissa Adams when she is talking about things and presenting things and talking about her and Kevin, how they sit down and they look at the hotel and blah, all these things, right? Be a good visionary. That's huge in this, because you have to paint the picture to show people what's possible. Okay, so that's one of the characteristics of being a good leader. The next characteristic, this is so hard for a lot of people, it is empathy and communication. Do you realize that every single person that you talk to has a different personality? There are people on my team, certain people I cannot talk to the way that I can talk to other people. They get offended. They take it wrong. All of a sudden, they're a victim. Oh my God, she's so mean. I never do anything right. Why didn't she shout me out? Blah, all these things, right? You have to get good at learning different personalities and being good at talking to these people. You got to understand your team members' needs and their goals. You got to understand how to come across and be supportive no matter what their decision is. And you got to get good at communicating, because this is going to help with trust and transparency. People will trust you if they know that you know how to communicate with them. And I can even take it back to family members. I have one sister I can be completely blunt with and be like, girl, why are you wearing those pants? And if I said that to my oldest sister, she would melt down and she would cry and she would be like, Kristi, she's so blunt. Like they're totally different. You've got to get good at talking to different people and communicating with different people. The next one is accountability. Okay, accountability. You have got to get good at leading by example. Lead by example. Get in the trenches with these people. Don't tell people what to do, show them what to do. So accountability and leading by example. Be responsible for your actions and your decisions. And this is a big one. I did not do this in the beginning. Please do not be like me. Hold your team to the same standards. Hold your team to the same standards. Don't try to do everything for your team, but don't leave them in the dust either. You can get really good at signing people up, but if you're not linking arms, holding hands, spoon feeding these people, telling them what to do, telling them how to take their products, they're not going to have a good story, and they're sure as heck not going to tell anybody their story. You have got to get good at being there for your team. For example, this month, one of my mentors challenged me to do this. It's been one of the hardest things I've ever done, and it sounds so stupid, okay? But I was challenged. I changed the things around a bit. Before, you want a mentor call? I'll schedule a mentor call. I'll be your mentor. I'll be your leader. I'll be whatever you need. We can talk every week. We can talk every 2 weeks. We can get on the phone a couple times a day. This month, I've decided that I am not putting time out there for people who do not set goals. That's been hard for me. That's been really hard for me. If you did not set your August goals and if you did not post them on the August goals post, you will not get a mentor call with me this month. I'll do 3 ways. I'll talk to your people. We'll do video chats, but you only have time for people who are willing to do these little things. If someone is not setting goals, why would you get on the phone and talk about how it's going, what's going good, what's not going good? It made perfect sense to me, but I'll tell you what, that was so hard for me because that's not my personality. My personality is to help everybody, do everything for everybody, be there, be supportive and all of that. You've got to hold people accountable and set them to the same standards. My accountability partner will not do a mentor call with me if I do not submit my goals. That's just the way it is. So you got to do those things because you're trying to build leaders. You're not trying to micromanage people. You're not trying to open a brick and mortar building and try to train everybody to run your business. They're independent. You have got to hold them accountable for this stuff. The next one is adaptability. Okay. You got to be flexible to change. Network marketing is going to involve dealing with different personalities, which we already talked about. And it's also unpredictable. Our business is so unpredictable. You have got to be willing to change. If you are still doing stuff and saying the same thing that you were saying when we only had 6 products, you're probably not going to get very far. You've got to be adaptable. You've got to be ready for change because things change all the time. I have a whole different way that I do things in the fall than I do things in the summer because things change. So you've got to be able to change things up. Consistency. Make sure you're showing up consistently for your team, whether it's through regular meetings, whether it's through training, whether it's through support. Being consistent builds reliability and also builds trust with people. The next thing is on building and leading a strong team. Okay, let's talk about recruitment. Okay, so when you're recruiting people, try to focus on recruiting people who are not only interested in your products, but align with your company cultures and values. Recruit positive people. Would you guys go out into I'll start anybody on products, right? I'll give anybody because I'm hoping it'll change some things for them. But I want to work with people who want to work with me. I don't want to beg people to work. Okay. I want people who want to be part of a community because they're going to stay longer, right? They're going to do more. So the next one is training and development. And this is still building and leading a strong team, training and development. Provide regular training sessions to improve your team's skills and knowledge. We have these every single Monday. Okay. I don't even know how many people. We have 21 people on here on 4 teams. What is that saying? A lot of people are not plugging in, right? So, but still be regular. And honestly, empower your team with tools and resources. We have boards, we have all the tools. You guys, when I started 14 years ago, we barely had stories. So for people to be like, oh, I don't have this, or I don't have this, or did you make this, or do you have this, or can you make this? No, we have everything that you need. Okay, so give that to your team. Make sure they have the stuff. Do not wait for your upline to do this for you. Let me say it again. Do not wait for your upline to do this for you. You are a leader of your team. You are independent. Empower your team. And take the lead. Whether you have one person on your team, whether you have one customer in your organization, or whether you have 50. You should be doing this. You've got to be the leader that you want to recruit. So you should be doing this, okay? Motivation and encouragement is huge. Recognizing and celebrating your team members. This is going to boost morale, and it also encourages continued effort. Some people, all they want is to see their name out there. All they want is an attaboy or an attagirl or a way to go. Some people, that's what keeps them going. So be that person. Make sure that you're motivating and encouraging. But I will tell you, you've also got to draw the line, because they eventually have to step up and start doing it for the other people. Okay, remember, everyone's independent. The next one is delegation. Trust your team by letting them have responsibilities, by letting them help out. It's going to lighten your load. It's going to help to develop leadership skills within your team, and really offer to help your upline. Offer to help them with tasks. I'm telling you, when someone comes in and says, hey, do you want me to do this, or do you want me to help you with this? I know you have 5,000 things going on. I am so excited that someone has taken the initiative and offered instead of waiting to be asked to help. Offer your upline. It's going to make you a better leader. It's going to help to get you ready to grow a bigger team. The next one I want to talk about is communication strategies for leaders. Okay. Effective listening. How many of you guys truly believe that you listen to people to really listen, or do you listen to reply? That's a big one. This is not just in business, you guys. This is in children, grandchildren, neighbors, friends, acquaintances, strangers, whatever. If someone is speaking, if someone is talking, listen to listen. Don't listen to reply. So you've got to be an effective listener. Pay attention to concerns, ideas, feedback. That shows them that their input is valuable. It shows them that you're willing to be a good listener. And I'm telling you, being a good listener and having someone to listen to you instead of like, oh, one-upping you, or that's not how it was, or, backlashing, that type of a thing is so, so important. Clear and concise messaging. You guys, messaging is horrible. Horrible. Okay. Have you guys ever received a text message and you're like, WTH does that mean? I have no idea what that means. And I really don't have time to fiddle it and figure it out on my own. Be clear on your messaging to people. Customers, be clear. They don't know what you're thinking. And I'm guilty of this sometimes. Sometimes I'll shoot Brian a message and he's like, okay, you just picked me up in the middle of your story. I have no idea, what is even going on. So make sure that you're clear on messaging. Whether you're communicating goals, providing instructions, or giving feedback, clarity is key. Okay. Regular check-ins. Make sure that you're checking in. Check in with your customers. Make sure that you're monitoring progress, because the better results your customers get, the better story they're going to get, and the more likely they are to grow a business. True story. Most of us that are here wanted nothing to do with the business. Absolutely nothing to do with the business. The stories led us to the opportunity. Let's see. The next one, overcoming challenges in network marketing. This is something huge, you guys. And this is going to make you a really good leader if you can do these things. Get good at rejections and setbacks. Okay, teach your team to handle rejection positively and view setbacks as learning opportunities. Don't just say that didn't work, I can't do that. Learn from that. Learn from the setbacks. For example, if we have a product that gets back ordered, focus on how amazing the product is and how it's so good that we can't even keep in it, rather than being angry. Oh, I know, I just can't get it. Oh, I know. The company messed up. The company totally messed this up. They should have ordered more, blah, blah, blah. Focus on how amazing it is. That is a great problem to have. Okay. Your team is going to feed off of you. Okay. They're going to feed off of you. Don't play the blame game. Don't be the victim, and use customer service. You guys, if you're having issues with anything that has to do with your website, your team member's account, your account, getting an order to process, getting errors, not being able to access things in your back office, don't reach out to your leader to do this for you or fix it for you. Call customer service. That's their job. Do you guys know that you don't have access to all your customers' things? Have your customers call customer service. Have your distributors call customer service. The company has links to all of your stuff more than we do. Okay, call them, build relationships with these people, because they are the mouth and the ears of your company. When your customer calls in there, you want to get to know these people. You want to know how they act. I feel comfortable sending anyone to customer service because I have a good relationship with these people. So make sure that you're building that as well. The next one that's overcoming challenges to be a good leader, team conflict. Okay, we're human. Things happen. Things are misunderstood. Things are ridiculous sometimes, but you got to address conflicts promptly and fairly. Encourage open communications and have a collaborative approach to problem solving. One thing that Mark taught me, if you receive a negative message or an uncalled for message from a team member, don't reply. Do not reply. You know how hard that gets for me sometimes? Because I'm like, oh, let's fix this. Nope. Turn your phone over and don't reply. And he does that too, just so you guys know, because he gets things like that as well. So do not reply to those. And sometimes I have to lean on my accountability partners here to help me say, do not reply, because I want to fix it. They want me to stop. So that's something that will help with team conflict as well. And honestly, you guys, drama at this age is embarrassing. So we should be lifting people up. It is embarrassing. Okay. So don't reply to negativity. The next one on here, maintaining momentum. Keep the energy high by setting short-term goals, celebrating wins, and staying engaged with your team. Now, a couple of these things I'm going to close off with because the man of the hour just walked into the room. So I'm going to turn it over to his story time. But you've got to work on personal development as a leader. You have got to work on that. Continuous learning, staying updated on the market, staying updated on what's going on, staying updated on leadership strategies and personal development techniques, attending, events. How many of you guys are going to ThinkFest in October? That's coming so soon. Okay. It's going to be amazing. I know some things happening. It's going to be so awesome. So get there, do that, be the example for your team. You got to work on that continuous learning, read books, work on your personal development yourself. Self-reflection. This is a good one. Regularly assess your leadership style and effectiveness. Are you attracting the people that you want on your team? Are you attracting the right people, or are you attracting people that you have to babysit all the time? Okay, think about that. Think about what you're putting out, because that's what you're going to be getting back. Time management. Make sure that you're prioritizing your tasks. Do the most important things first on your list, because guess what? Things are going to happen. You're going to have things come up. You're going to get sidetracked. Unexpected things happen. So you want to make sure you get the most important things done first, and then everything else will just kind of fall into place. And you want to work on building future leaders. Identify and nurture potential leaders within your team. Provide them with opportunities to lead and grow. Give them things to do. You are bringing in independent distributors. Don't forget that. You got to treat them like it. Make them feel like they own their own business. Make them feel like they're special. Make them feel like they're powerful. Make them feel like they are running a multi-million-dollar business, because they are. You got to be there for support, but don't micromanage them. If you micromanage your team, you will scare people away faster than you will recruit them. I'll just say it like that. If your team is dwindling, check yourself. Okay. And in closing, I just want you guys remember, leadership and network marketing is about inspiring, it's about guiding, and it's about supporting your team to achieve success. We want everybody to have success here. There's no cap on what we do, and we have to paint that picture for people. So by embodying the principles of effective leadership and working on your personal development, you can build a thriving network marketing business with a loyal and motivated team. Do you guys want your team to stay when you get them? Or do you want them to be looking for someone else to sign up with? Right? You want your team. So make sure that you are building that team. And the biggest thing to remember here, you guys, what you do or what you don't do is what's going to duplicate. People are going to do exactly what you're doing. They don't do what you say, they watch what you do. They're just like your kids. You can't tell your kids, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this, and then go do it. They're going to learn by what you do. They're not going to just follow what you say. So that's what I have for you guys tonight. Do not forget that you are all leaders. You are all special. You are all here for a reason. You are on here. There's 4 teams on here, and we have 21 people. We've got to grow those numbers. Believe me, Greg and Jen, Stacy, Melissa, we have a lot of other stuff that we can be doing, a lot of other things that we can be, we can be out recruiting and building our own business. You guys bring your teams here. Bring them here. They're going to get nuggets. They're going to get valuable information, and they're going to become great leaders. So that's all I have for you guys. All right. If you want to stay on, you can stay on. We're going to have adventure story time. So I hope you guys get you a Kleenex, maybe use the potty real fast so you don't have an accident. But I hope you take something, that I said and just try to apply it. It's like the grocery store method. I gave you a lot of information. Maybe you don't need it all. Maybe you do need it all. But when you go to the grocery store, you don't go buy everything. You go buy what you need. So when you get on these trainings, when you go to the events, when you do all the things, when you're doing personal development, don't try to take it all in. Just take what you need, but then use it, then apply it. Okay. So.
Hey, Kristi, before you bring Brian on, I'm going to say something real quick. Guys, first of all, that was an amazing training Kristi just gave you guys. A lot of things that you can use and apply toward leadership. Everything she said, I'm telling you right now, is spot on. But if you're sitting back going, okay, I'm a little overwhelmed. I don't know where to start. I don't know, what direction to go. I'm going to give you something I think that I looked at in the beginning. And that is one of the things she talked about is lead by example. I think if you start there and say, okay, what do I need to do to be leading by example? Am I going for promotions? Am I showing up on trainings? Am I being involved in training events, whatever that might look like, or coaching events, whatever that might look like? Am I being involved in those things? Am I being that example to my team? So I think leading by example, if you start there and start branching off, is a great place to start. Also, number 2, and a very close number 2, is working on yourself. That self-development is so huge. You will never grow a team without self-development and putting that time into yourself to get that mindset to grow the team. So if you're wondering, okay, that's a lot of information. It's a lot of great information that Kristi gave you guys. But if you're thinking, okay, I can, all of this applies to me. Everything she said, I need to work on. But where do I start? In my opinion, start with those 2 and build off of that and grow from that. So Kristi, great training. I loved it. I think everything was spot on. So I'm going to hand it back to you to get Brian on here.
Okay. All right. Here he is.
Will you let him know that Pam 2 is here?
Pam 2 is there.
All right.
All right. He said he's coming in hot. Coming in hot. Come on, you can sit down in the queen chair. Look at his patch.
All right, guys. Now, just relax. The patch is seriously just for cosmetic purposes. My eye is super sensitive to the light. But last night, so me and you guys have all seen my big ass dog. And so we were hanging out in the backyard, and every once in a while he just likes to mess with me. And so he went to swat at me. And when he did, I got one of his big paws, one of his toenails went in my eye. And when it went in my eye, it felt like it like squished the eyeball. And as soon as he swatted at my eye, I seriously, like, I felt like there was a scratch in my eye. And I was like, oh my gosh, I think he popped my eye. Like I started to panic because I started thinking, oh my gosh, it's got to be the worst case scenario. The eye's popped, it's going flat. I'm probably going to lose it. Well, I'm trying to get into the house, and Kristi's worried about the floor drying. She's like, we got to let the floor dry. So we waited a little while, and of course, Instacare and everywhere closed last night. And so this morning we went in.
Tell about your dreams.
Oh my gosh, my dreams. I was constantly, I kept wondering, like, am I going to have to get a fake eye? Like, then if I lose my eye, Kristi's going to hate the dog even more. Then she's going to hate him every day. You know what I mean? I'm going to be like this all the time, and she'll just hate him all the time. But I kept thinking, God, I won't be able, will I have depth perception? Will I be able, am I going to hit into things all the time? I mean, I was worried about, I had worst case scenario the whole time. And this, maybe you can tie this into stuff you guys are doing, but try not to worry too far down the road about stuff that hasn't happened yet, because I was already worried about, eye selection. I'm going to have to pick some eyes, you know what I mean? Then she's going to get mad because I always wear the weird one, like, then I'm going to pop it out in public and people are going to be grossed out. Brian, put your eye back in. Like, am I going to be able to skydive? Like, am I going to have depth perception? Like, am I going to have to give that up, or I'm going to have, audible altimeters all over me? Like, I don't know. Like, am I going to be a hazard to drive because I bump into everybody? Like, I seriously was so far down the road of worrying that I forgot we got to just get to Instacare first and see what's going on. So this morning we went in, and like I said, I mean, it felt like the eyeball got squished in. Like, I thought maybe it popped. So we got in there, and I pulled the patch up, and he looked at it, and he checked it out and put some dye in it. And he says, well, I got good news. He says, the globe is good. And I was like, oh my God, the globe is good? And he says, yes, the globe is good. And I was like, are we meaning the eyeball, like the globe? And he said, yes. And I said, the eyeball's good. And he said, yes. And I said, the globe is good. I said, this is great. I said, you know what? Let's let that be the statement for the day. The globe is good. And so everyone in the office was super happy. They were like, thank God the globe is good. Like, they didn't know what globe, but they were happy for me. So he says, let's put some dye in it. They put some dye in it. He says, now, I don't see a lot of accumulation. And I said, what do you mean accumulation? Accumulation of what? And he's like, well, accumulation. I said, of dirt? Like, I don't know what we're talking about. Like, accumulation of what? And he says, well, when I put the dye in, if it's deep, you'll get a lot of accumulation. I can see it's deep because there's a lot of accumulation of the dye. And I said, oh. And he said, I don't see a lot of accumulation. I said, well, this is great. Not a lot of accumulation. The globe is good. Like, I like the way things are going. And he said, I said, so my eye is good, right? And he's like, well, I mean, it's good for what you went through. He says, but probably 5 days, 7 days, you'll be back to normal. He says, but I'm going to give you some antibiotics. And all I can hear is the globe is good. Like, seriously, I mean, at this point, it sounds like he's like, because I thought I poked a hole in my eye and maybe I was going to go flat, because every time I would touch it, like, tears would come out. So anyway, I just want you guys to know, try not to worry too far down the road about stuff that hasn't happened yet. You know what I mean? Whatever it is in your life. And remember, for God's sakes, the globe is good.
You guys have your sticker?
Oh, I took my sticker off.
Wait,
Have you
wait.
know this?
Blaming your dog
he brought me a sticker that said, "Well done." And I put that sucker on right here because I was super proud.
And it was upside down because he can't see.
I couldn't see, but I put it on upside down. And then he brought me a sucker with a smiley face. And he said, you know, I've never actually brought one of these in for a grown man, but I feel like it would help. And I said, man, I absolutely love you. Like, this is so great. I got a sticker, I got a sucker, and the globe is good. We've had minimal accumulation. Like, and I have an eye patch. And tomorrow I'll probably take it off, but for now, like, life is good, and I'm once again appreciating the little things.
Hey, Brian.
Yes.
I'm gonna wear my eye patch as long as you wear yours.
Arr, brother.
Arr.
Hey, let me your dog just so you can be a pirate. That's low, man. I'm telling you, that's like low.
We're gonna be pirates in Cancun.
We're
Might as
bringing
well.
I'm in. I'm definitely in.
Hey, I love all you guys. We'll see you soon.
Love you, Brian.
Oh Lord, it's always an adventure with him. I'm gonna tell you.
Yeah, the
Always.
globe is good,
Y'all,
guys.
y'all need to earn Founders Club just so you can hang out with Brian Van Dam. I promise you. But
Kristi,
love you all,
so-
and I'm going to declare Ephesians 3:20 over this team. God is going to do exceedingly and abundantly more than we can think or ask because we honor him. His blessings are going to chase us down and overtake us. You're in the right place at the right time, and I declare a boldness to rise up in each one of you as leaders. God will open supernatural doors. People will seek us out, and we will rise in the ranks because we give him the honor and glory. Love you guys.